All right, so now that we've looked at data, you've created like a savings plan, you know how to use the dollar signs to be able to do relative and absolute references, you know how to do an if function, and you know how to do a goal seek. Maybe you want to help visualize some data a little bit more. So it's really hard when you're looking at like a spreadsheet with all these numbers and all these things and highlighting the things that you want people to know or comparing them really quickly. And maybe you don't want to use a chart, maybe you don't want to get all fancy and make a chart and have it be separate. Maybe you just want to visualize it on the spreadsheet while looking at it. So that's what we're going to work on with these videos is conditional formatting. So inside of the teams, whatever team you're in for computer apps, it may not be this team, you should have now a lesson file called sales by customer. So you're going to go ahead and find that file real quick and open that up. And that's been provided to you. So you're going to go into here and there's this file. Remember, click the triple dot and open it up in the full Excel version because we want to use the full Excel version. And when you get there, it should look something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work on how we can make this data stand out without making a chart, without doing spark lines, and without doing other things, but just really looking at the sales by customer for this company and seeing which ones stand out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to highlight the data to be able to edit it. So when I highlight this data, and I'm zoomed in a little bit, I'm going B3 all the way through B23, just that sales number. And that's how much each of these customers have sold, right? Or how much you've sold to them. So you've got each of these customers and the sales by date. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and format these using conditional formatting. Because like we could go in here and we could manually highlight like our top three. So like I could select B5 and I could select B10 and B16 and 17, right? And then B23. See, by me even trying to find those five, it was like I had to like think about which ones were in order and find them, and then I could highlight them like using the shading here, right? And say these are our top customers. However, I could have missed something. Human error is a huge thing. You definitely could have human error really easily. So right there, you have some issues. Now, let's say one of these customers comes in and they're like, okay, Global Swimsuits, they come in and they come with a $6,000 order, right? So their number changes to 17,000. And yes, I'm going to change it to 17,000. Okay. And you should too. So go to B7 and change that to 17 grand. It's now the top number, right? There are top sales. They've now removed less's tailors from our data here from being the top seller. So I would have to go here. I'd have to adjust the fill color to be nothing on B16. And then I'd have to go to B7 and I'd have to make the fill color be yellow. So manually, I have to go in and I'd have to fix that formatting, right, to highlight those pieces. There's an easier way though. So I'm going to take all these, I'm going to select them. And like we practiced before, I'm going to go up to my eraser up here for clearing, and I'm going to clear the formatting. I'm not going to clear all because if I hit clear all, it'll remove everything. I don't want the data to remove. I just want to remove the formatting. So I'm going to hit clear formatting and it'll take it back. And then while we're in here, I'm going to make this be accounting just so it looks good. Okay. So now I have my numbers. I've got it all selected, but what we're going to do this time is conditional formatting. Now, conditional formatting essentially means I'm going to format stuff, make it look different, but it's based off of conditions. So if the data changes, the formatting will adjust to match that data. So what we're going to do is on the styles group up here in the home tab, you are going to go here for conditional formatting. And you can actually see that when you select data, you get this quick analysis toolbar, and the formatting is actually going to be all of those conditional formattings that we see, the basic ones. So this is also here, just so you know, as far as like when you start applying conditional formatting and adjusting it. But up here in the ribbon, you've also got a ton of options. So what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight things that are between like 9,000 and 12,000, that middle range. They're, probably the customers we should work with a little bit more, see if we can make some more sales to meet some quotas and get our sales up for the month because they've already purchased quite a bit. And so I want you to pause the video here and find one that will allow us to highlight things between 9,000 and 12,000. Okay, so looking at this, if I go to the first one, highlight cell rules, one of the options is between, right? I could highlight things that are greater than a number, less than a number, equal to something, but I've got between right here where I can highlight things that are between two values. So I'm going to go ahead and choose between. And when I do that, I get this dialog box. Now, this dialog box allows me to specify what number it is between here, right? So I'm going to go, it is between 9,000 and 12,000. Right? And let's go ahead and highlight that with a yellow fill with dark yellow text. So in this drop-down menu, you can see they've got some preset ones for like red, yellow, and green. Maybe a border, like if you want to highlight things with a border here, but I'm going to use the yellow one. And these are like my customers I should focus on to get sales up, right? And I'm going to hit OK. So that's going to adjust right there. Now, here's the cool part, right? When I do this, and let's say exotic flowers comes in and all of a sudden they've purchased another 5 grand, right? So I'm going to double click in there, and instead of it being 5,053, I'm going to make it 10,053. Once I hit enter and I make it 10,053, the cool part about conditional formatting is because this now meets the condition of being between 9,000 and 12,000, it will format automatically because I had all of these cells selected and apply that conditional formatting to that cell. So now that it meets that condition, that's formatted. And it's really cool. So as things adjust, it will adjust with it. And once it meets that condition, it's got that formatting applied.